Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. I guess it's 3:05. We can go ahead and get rolling here. So today's e-learning webinar is a discussion of a couple of the new or newer software packages that we've been using. One is Synthesia and the other one is Vyond. We have some faculty who will be discussing how they've used these products, Dr. Agazi and Dr. Durbu. And Alain Patrick is also going to talk about how he's used both of these also. And so that's the agenda for the day. I mean, as I've mentioned, everybody listed here is going to start talking about their use of these products. And at the end, I guess we'll have a little Q&A. Of course, you're welcome to ask some questions in the chat as we move along. And so the first software package I just wanted to discuss and introduce briefly is Vyond. It's an animation software that I found very easy to use. I think it's a animation software that you can kind of figure out within, I'd say, a morning or a day and become fairly proficient at it quickly. I think it's helpful for potentially helpful for classes because animations can help gain the attention of students, and I think you can simplify concepts fairly well. And so here's just an example animation that Patrick put together for us. I do there.
Are you a teacher who is struggling to keep your student engaged in the classroom? Well, this is where UGHE's e-learning studio comes in to help you create dynamic and interactive instructional materials. To do that, we leverage the power of 5 specific technologies. First up, we have Vyond Animation. This powerful tool allows you to create animated videos to explain complex concepts or add some fun to your lessons.
So you can see it uses sort of a cartoonish animation approach. But it also has the branding that can be added to it. But I think it can be helpful. Patrick is going to talk about a couple of students who also used the Vyond animation for a project of theirs. And today we're also going to talk a little bit about Synthesia. It's an AI video content creation tool that it has a lot of different possibilities, I think, in terms of converting static PowerPoints into videos. It can convert text to video, and it can even convert PDF files into video. And this is something that Dr. Agazi is going to discuss a little bit about how he's used it with his Kakundi project. And here's just an example of a video that I put together for this mini IT and health conference that we had last year. And this video is just completely created with text.
Welcome to the inaugural Mini IT and Health Conference hosted by the University of Global Health Equity Class of 29. We are delighted to bring together professionals, scholars, and enthusiasts from the fields of information technology and healthcare to explore the transformative power of technology.
So I think it's pretty unbelievable what AI is capable of now. And really, it's just, I think, up to us as people who are working at a medical university to sit down together and just figure out some different ways that we can use these tools. And so, Dr. Agazi, do you mind talking about Kikundi a little bit, and we'll share a video that you and Patrick worked on.
Sure, yes, it would be a pleasure. Thank you, Matt, for that introductory session. From my end, for those of you who we haven't met before, my name is Agazi and I work at the Center for One Health. I am primarily affiliated with the Kikundi project, which is the project that takes up most of my time. And I do a little bit of teaching at the center as well. For today's session, to give you some background information about Kikundi, Kikundi is a community of practice for NTD program managers. It was established about 3 years ago. For the first phase, it was conducted through the University of Washington as well as UGHE and with funding from the Gates Foundation. I believe for the next phase, management will fully shift to UGHE, which is something that's already been approved. And starting, I think, next week, UGHE will assume full control in a sense, like it'll be the primary grantee of the project, with UW supporting, and then with funds coming in still from the Gates Foundation. For those of you who don't know what a community of practice is, it's just a group of individuals or experts who work in a specific area, and basically they just form a community to discuss specific topics, concepts, and so on. For Kikundi, that is work around NTD programs, and our members are NTD program managers who work across the African continent, affiliated with ministries of health at the national level. And a lot of them are responsible for overseeing the large umbrella of NTDs, which currently are around 20 plus. And we work with them to provide a community for knowledge exchange, peer-to-peer support, professional development, and so on. So as it relates to Kikundi and the community of practice, one of the activities that we engage in is we try to provide professional development courses and resources to our membership. And these topics range over a number of things. But basically, we source this information by doing a needs assessment or a survey of our membership to see what type of topics they would like support on. And one of the first courses that we developed was around research protocol development. So how do you go from an idea and then write up a very functional and high quality research proposal, right? Like which you can use to apply for grants or even engage with partners and conduct various research activities. And the idea for that was we wanted to create courses in 3 languages, so English, French, and Portuguese, as that would cover most of our membership. I'm cognizant that I'm not a fan of classification of African countries as Anglophone, Francophone, and what have you, as all countries have their own specific, unique, and cultural languages that they use. But the reality being as it is right now, the 3 languages that would really help us ease communication between countries and make the content that we create accessible to our membership are English, Portuguese, and French. So that was kind of what we wanted to do. And a lot of the work that goes into creating courses has to do with creating, what is your topic area. You have to engage with experts, develop the content material, and through that, basically, you would end up producing the course material that you would need, right? So the approach we took was we engaged with experts. We hired a consultant to kind of draft the
Agazi, I think you're cutting out there. Can anyone else hear Agazi?
No, I cannot hear him.
Okay. Let's see. He's here. Yeah, you're cutting out pretty bad. So I guess I'll just cut in here since Agazi's breaking up quite a bit. So this is one of the videos that was created for the training that Agazi was discussing. And he and Patrick collaborated on these, taking PowerPoints that had been created for the Kikundi training online. And this is an example of some PowerPoint training that was translated into Portuguese that the Kikundi website now uses for some of its training. Agazi, are you back?
Yes, I believe I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Apologies for that. I don't know, my audio dropped for a bit. So
Sure.
thank you, Matt, for that. Yes, and as Matt mentioned, this was an example of like a slide where you have a lot of information that we had created for the Portuguese participants. So just to summarize, as I was saying, we wanted to create courses around specific topics for our members. And the process has been creating the content by engaging experts, taking that content, and then working with the e-learning team at the University of Washington to transform it into these visually appealing and easy to digest slide decks. I think we had around 10 slide decks, each one ranging anywhere from 30 slide decks to some of them were around 140, 150 slide decks, depending on the topic. So as you can imagine, we had a large amount of information, large amount of slides that we need to convert into videos. And the plan was for each slide, you would have a script that would be attached within the notes. And that would essentially serve as the talking, right? Like for the transcript, for the video recordings. So initially, in order to achieve this, we actually engaged people from UGHE, and we also hired people who spoke Portuguese to help us record the Portuguese content using the e-learning studio there. And how difficult and really time consuming this process was, as each person had to read the script for each slide. And, whenever you make an error, you have to stop and go back and re-record, right? So sometimes this would take us an entire day just to go through like one slide deck. So that was extremely painful and took a lot of time. And because of that, we had to look for other solutions, which one of them was, can we potentially use like an AI audio/video recording platform, which would really cut down on this time problem that we were facing when recording each of these videos. So basically, essentially, that's the problem that we wanted to solve. Can we cut down on time for recording the audio and the video for these slide decks, and that would not only fast track the production of these videos, but also we were taking time from people who were working at UGHE, right? So this is very precious time that was being taken up for the entire day, just trying to go through one slide deck. And imagine, as I told you, we have English, French, Portuguese, with many topics to be covered. So this brings us back to Synthesia, in which we to really make it easy to record these. The process is very easy. So essentially, you can upload up to 10 slides. If you have a slide deck of 50, that means you need to break them up to 10 slides each of that makes it about 5 slide decks. And essentially, there's a function to upload it as is into Synthesia. It converts each of the slide that you see here on the screen as an image, and that becomes like the image for that section. And then it's intuitive enough that it would take the notes that you have and it'll take it as a script. And then you can easily add background music, control the amount of music that's playing in the back. And also essentially, and I think importantly as well, you can select the type of voice you use, the clarity of the voice you use, etc., to kind of decide which works best for your participants and stuff, right? As Matt showed in the example earlier, that was just one type of voice that's available. And as you can imagine, this cuts down on time, but it's still very tedious and a bit time consuming because someone has to cut up the slide decks, upload them into the platform, and then take those renderings and then also record the video, and then you'd have to stitch back up all that information that you have. And for this, I owe personally, or our project also owes a debt of gratitude to Alan Patrick, who has been really good at supporting and facilitating that process and going through the recording process for those slide decks. So basically, our problem was that we were facing a lot of time. We were wasting a lot of time recording these videos as we were using human voiceovers to record. That took a lot of time. We had to hire consultants to record, as well as consultants to actually like stitch together the video, because you need to use other software that people need to have expertise on to record. So it really helped us cut down on time for the voiceover recordings, and it also helped us cut down on costs, as now even the video making process is very easy and is as easy as like clicking a button. So at this point, I think I will stop and hand it over to Matt, as I have covered most of the topics. Thank you. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Agassi. Really appreciate that in-depth description of how you're able to use Synthesia to solve some problems that you were facing. Why don't now let's see. Dr. Durbu, are you prepared to discuss your use of Vyond?
Yeah, just in short, I can describe it.
Sure.
So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Darbo. I am a postdoc for a key injury project at Center for Kidney Liver Surgery. I'm also faculty teaching pharmacology at BMS. I talked with Dr. Matt about this software just after our workshop in Musanze. Key injury project, one of the components is talking with different stakeholders and asking them if they are willing to get engaged in injury care policy development. We had a discussion with them separately for different stakeholders, and around mid of February, we brought them together. So we asked them their potential multi-stakeholder policy mood engagement strategies. And we asked them, and they just listed some of the items. So I just was curious to ask Vinod to give me a very brief presentation about it, because one of the most important aspects for engaging different stakeholders in injury care or any other healthcare aspect policy development process is through advocacy. And then this very nice AI tool, AI supported tool is really powerful. I just gave it very key points only. I didn't give it details. And then even some of the points were picked by our participant in the workshop. I couldn't use it for the workshop, but for the research, it's not part of the research. And I couldn't also give it more detailed information because it's sensitive. Otherwise, I really find it so relevant. And if you have like specific details of what you are looking for, the more precise probe you have it, and then it will make it so nice. Even you can choose the different slide designs, the speaker, the language, and it's so amazing. I mean, I like the way how it is. Even I shared this one with our global team, local team, for possible use in the future. That's what we did. Thank you. Over to you, Dr. Mal.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Durbu. Yeah, so, I think, at least one lesson we can learn from listening to Dr. Raghazi and Dr. Durbu is that, these technology tools can be used to solve a lot of problems. So, one, obviously is instruction, but then, you can also think about using it for advocacy. How can we create videos, animations that can advocate for the things that we are interested in advocating for as, students and faculty at a medical school here. So, I think that sort of points to, what can you do with these things? It's a bit corny maybe, but it really is just up to your imagination. Let's see, where are we? So we'll move on now to some of Patrick's examples. He's definitely used Synthesia more than anyone else.
wakomereza ari gusaba 2,600 by'ishuri.
Hey, can somebody needs to mute their mic. Let me see who that is. So why don't I hand it off to you, Patrick?
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Mant. Can you hear me? I'm going to start sharing my screen.
Yes, we can hear you.
Sounds good. All right. Could you stop sharing yours so that I can? All right. So thank you very much. I think most of what Synthesia does has been covered by Dr. Agazi. I just wanted to kind of walk you through the process, basically, of what he talked about, so that we can all see how easy it is from the faculty end and also from my end. So if at any time anyone has these, long PowerPoint presentations, slides to work on that they want to make more interesting, it's an easy, thing to do. So like this, for instance, this is a project that we're working on with Dr. Jonathan from clinical division. So they have these slides that they want to basically embed in their Canvas course. So I'm working with them to sort of turn these into a video. So as Dr. Agazi mentioned, Synthesia accepts a set of 10 slides at once. So basically, I just delete the rest and then save this as a new PowerPoint. I'll just call it P1. And then back in Synthesia, I just where is it? Yeah. Back in Synthesia, I just click new video. There are these other options, but we just look for import PowerPoint, and then we'll go ahead and select it, this one. So it being an AI, it really understands these, from the faculty angle, what you guys need to do is just type these notes, which is basically the script that the AI is supposed to read and turn into a voice, basically give it a voice. So after it has finished importing it, you just have splitted have these two screens. So give me a second. So just copy the notes from here, and then I paste that those notes in here. So the cool thing about it is it has these voices, so you can choose if it speaks as a man or as a woman. You can choose the voice, and you can also choose the type of English that you want. So us being in Africa, I think what has been both surprising for me and also I really liked it is the fact that it has this accent from Africa. So you can deliver a video that has an accent of an African. You can choose from it being Kenyan or Nigerian or South African or Tanzanian. So unfortunately they don't have Rwandan accent yet, but I really hope it's coming soon. So for instance, this is the first slide that I just worked on. Yeah, I've given it Tanzanian English accent. So just let's hear how it sounds.
Let's now get into the different types of biopsies. We will start with incisional biopsies, which are usually performed on larger lesions, usually greater than 1 centimeter. 2 or more samples are usually obtained in lesions greater than 2 centimeters. An incisional biopsy is usually performed by making a wedge-shaped or oval incision, usually 4 by 6 millimeters, making sure to include neighboring, healthy-appearing tissue in the sample.
Yeah, so that's like the first slide. That's how we would go with the narration, the voiceover of the AI on it. So this is basically it. Once I have these PowerPoints with the narration written in the notes down on each slide, I just come and copy paste the narration, and then the AI gives us the voiceover, and then I render this slide by slide and then stitch them up together in another editing software. So I think as Agazi has said it, this allow us to cut cost and time, and to really, because as of now, if we hadn't used this platform on this, it would have been very tricky, because like Dr. Jonathan is in clinical rotation somewhere in Kigali hospital. So the fact that he can just send these PowerPoints to me, and then I also deliver the video done, ready to embed in Canvas courses, I think it's very easy. It allows us to deliver this efficiently. So yeah, I think I just wanted to show you how easy it is, and really, encourage you to make use of it. It's not time consuming, and the results are impeccable. So yeah, that's a bit about Synthesia. Let me just jump real quick into Vyond. So Vyond is an animation tool that we also use. I want to highlight this project of MBBS students, MBBS 26 students that they worked on, and they went on to win this international One Health multimedia contest, which was organized by UC Davis One Health Institute. I think it's a project by Denise from MBBS 2026. What I like by it is it sort of it sums up how Vyond can be used to introduce courses to simplify complex topics in a way that anyone can really understand and relate to. So I'm just going to play it. It's a 2 minutes long video.
Did you know that zoonotic diseases cause 2.5 billion illnesses and 2.7 million deaths each year? Imagine the devastation. What would you do if you were to handle one of these zoonotic diseases? Chances are you're thinking of One Health. Indeed, come with me to Kido village. Nurse Shema is dealing with a rise in brucellosis cases. The farmers there are also seeing a similar trend in their livestock. The local veterinarians are also having trouble with sick cows infecting other animals. Plus, the temperatures have been rising each day. Unfortunately, the community leaders have failed to control the infection since Kido consumes raw animal products during festivals. Now, let's see how One Health will transform the situation. Nashima will notice more cases of brucellosis in Kido and will collaborate with local authorities, veterinarians, and environmentalists to improve humans, animals, and environment's health. Furthermore, One Health, which emphasizes on diversity of disciplines, will consider the social factors in Kido's community, like health disparities, beliefs, and traditions. Thus, community health workers, elders, faith leaders, and influential figures will contribute in enforcing proposed solutions like public awareness, community studies, and behavior change. In essence, One Health brings different sectors together by breaking professional and social barriers and acting as a unifying force.
So yeah, thank you very much. That's also another example of Vyond that I wanted to show you. I think I just got an idea with I saw Augustine on the call. We're working on a nursing program with them. I think Vyond could be a perfect example of what we can use to sort of introduce the various lessons that they use to make them more interactive, to make them more visually easy to grasp, really, because visuals they are proven to be easy to grasp than words, basically. So yeah, thank you very much. Over to you, Dr. Matt.
Okay. Thank you very much, Patrick. Yeah, I think it's interesting how I think these tools can be used by faculty and students. You know, I think there's just a lot of different potential there. Yeah, there was another student project too. I think they were MBBS 29 students who created a video that they submitted to like a global health video challenge. And it was a nice animation that they also created in Vyond. So so I just wanted to show one more example in Synthesia. And just to show, you know, something else you can do. So Synthesia recently, I guess in the past few months, added this new feature called AI Video Assistant, which can convert web pages that you put in here, documents, and also ideas, so that you could just type in a basic idea there, and then it would, you know, look at the internet and come up with a script based on your prompt. But what I wanted to show you now is how it can be used to take just a basic PDF file and create a script out of it. So you would just go to this document, browse for file, and this is just some research I found this morning, e-learning and medical school education in sub-Saharan Africa. And so now the AI is sort of looking at this document. It's going to start breaking it up into different slides or scenes. And so I have it set to 8. And then you can also choose the template here. I think I selected this one. Use this template. And so the AI is just going through that PDF file and taking out what it perceives to be main ideas, which, you know, it seems to do a pretty good job of that. And so it just created those 8 different scenes. And so I'm just going to let it generate a little bit farther just to show you the editing section of Synthesia. Okay, continue in editor. And so, you know, that took maybe a minute or two of just uploading this PDF file, you know, that I just found on Google Scholar this morning. It's about 6 pages. And so it took that and just created, you know, a video presentation of the information found in that PDF file. And so here's where you can also select an avatar if you want to change the avatar. You could pick Santa Claus. And so there's quite a wide variety of different avatars to choose from. And also, if you want to change the text, you can go in here and edit if you'd like. And so, and then, you know, once you have everything the way that you like it, you can then go to generate and click generate, and it takes 7 minutes. So, you know, basically from uploading a PDF file like that to finishing a video, it could take 10 minutes, you know, and again, I think something that, you know, Agazi brought up and Patrick brought up before, you know, just this tool is amazing at just time, you know, time saving. It's kind of unbelievable. So I generated this earlier, so let me go ahead and play this. So here's the kind of final.
Sub-Saharan Africa has access to the highest quality medical education, regardless of their location. That's the promise of e-learning, envisioned as a revolution yet to fully ignite. Despite the potential, e-learning in medical education faces hurdles, technology overloads rather than enhances learning, and countless pilot programs fizzle out without scaling up, victims of unrealistic expectations and inadequate planning. What's missing? A systematic approach. E-learning needs integration into the local educational fabric, alignment with national strategies, and adherence to standardized frameworks for implementation and evaluation. The journey of e-learning is not just about providing technology. It's about reshaping curricula to be more dynamic, leveraging technology.
And so I think you can see how simple that is to, convert text documents into a video that can then be shared. I guess one of the things that I've thought about in terms of how this tool can be used is to share your research, so that if you have a bit of a long research project, you can load it into, or research paper, you can load it into Synthesia, which will then sort of break out the main ideas, and so that you have an attractive video that is explaining your research paper that you can share with your colleagues or other stakeholders, instead of sharing PDF paper, which they may or may not read. So that's just one idea as far as this AI assistant. So that's all that we had planned for the day. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I just understand that this tool can be so important and so helpful for the student. But I just want to understand, since I've never used this system before, what do you need to be able to use this system? Can someone use their personal account, or can it be like the account for EJG that you can use to log into the system? Thank you.
Sure. Are you on campus or?
I'm currently on campus, yeah. I'm GD student.
Okay, yeah. Nice to meet you. Well, I would just recommend getting in touch with Alain Patrick. You can, use the tool in the eStudio. You can use these tools in the eStudio. We also have, an account that we could share if you can explain what it is that you want to use it for, the time frame that you want to use it for too. So I think we could do a couple of things with regards to that. Does that make sense? Do you know Alain Patrick?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I would reach out to him, and depending upon the type of work that you want to do with it, you could either use the studio, or we could figure out some way to share the account with you, as long as there's a clear time frame.
Yeah, thank you for that. I just kind of was curious to see how I can use this tool, because when you're presenting, another colleague presenting, I feel like there's something I can use and see what I can get out of it. So it was not something specific, but I will follow up to find out how to get to use it. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome. Okay, well, I think that's it. Thank you, Agazi, Patrick. I'm trying to pronounce your name with an accent, I think, for some reason. Dr. Durbu. So, and anyone that's here, please reach out if you, need anything from me learning. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we do have We do have our own website, ugheelearning.org, with resources, some information about the studio, best practices, and things like that. We're in the process of updating it now. Hopefully it'll be updated maybe a month or so. But if you're looking for more resources and information with regards to e-learning, you can check out our website. So that's it. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.